What's up, everybody? How you guys doing? We're back. Blacktop Smack Talk here. Adam, once again, we're coming to you live from UW.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
Doghouse.
It's quiet though. It's quiet. The gym, the hoops aren't even down, but we got a special guest today.
He got some pull. He got an empty gym for us here.
Yeah. So we got a special guest, Isiah Umipig, Seattle U, overseas guard, point guard. My fault. You know, because some guys don't want to be labeled as I'm a point guard. You know, some guys want to be like I'm a point guard, but point guard, overseas, heading back to Turkey this year. But we're just gonna chop it up with him, do a little, just have a conversation about his career.
Started here, Federal Way.
Yep, how his career started and how it prolonged to where we are now. So, what's up, man? How you doing? Appreciate you take some time out.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Out of your day, we know you leave soon, and you gotta get your workouts in. So, we just want to sit here and take a couple minutes of your time. Well, not a couple minutes, but a little bit longer than that of your time, and just kind of talk to you about the man who is Mr. Umipig. So, you know, starting off, we'll go over high school.
Yeah, so your Federal Way career.
Yeah.
Was there ever any doubt that you were going to go to Federal Way? Was there ever Garfield Beach trying to come get you?
I grew up playing for Rotary.
Okay.
So we all came from different areas. So, you know, our practices that we always joke about how we are all going to team up and go to the same high schools. But kind of through middle school, I knew I was going to go to Federal Way and kind of just...
Coach Collins?
Yeah.
That's the man.
For sure.
You got a state title there, Federal Way.
Should have several, but I have one for sure.
Yeah, you got one. Did you get MVP of that game?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did. We played Garfield, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah, describe that game. Describe that.
It was
the
fun,
state
man.
tournament.
That whole run is we knew going into that year that we were going to have a pretty fun year and have a chance to win the state tournament. And so we were just trying to, ever since, I think we even all played for the same AAU team that previous summer, just to kind of get ready and get our chemistry going. And so, it was fun, man. I think we went to Portland that year. We went to Arizona.
So you guys undefeated?
I think we lost one game.
Okay.
We had a couple guys out, but they got us. They got us. I think we lost like 1 or 2 games.
It says you had 19 in the championship.
Yeah.
Right? And you were averaging just under 10 before that. So that was a big...
Yeah, I missed like half the year too because I broke my ankle. So I didn't play till like February.
Oh, okay.
In, like the playoffs. So right around the state tournament or like the last couple playoff games is when I was starting to get my rhythm back and starting to play well. Yeah.
I remember watching that game. I think it was Eldridge or Kasner was doing the play-by-play. He kept hearing, Umipig. Man, who's this Umipig guy, man?
I just felt like it was a good time because, like I said, I missed half the year. Even the game we lost, I didn't play because I was still out with my ankle injury. So once I was able to get back and then that tournament run, we got the state championship game. We're playing against Tony and Glenn and guys I know and played
Tucker?
up. Yeah, Tuck. I don't think Tuck was there yet.
Oh, okay.
I don't think Tuck was there yet. But it was Wani, my cousin.
Oh, yeah.
And so when you play against guys you know, especially from like AAU
it's
and
just
like kids,
an open run.
Yeah, man.
So then you won the championship your junior year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then your senior year, you guys made it to state, and you guys got, I think, third?
Yeah, we got third.
Yeah,
we lost in the semifinals.
Who'd you guys lose to that year?
We lost to Jackson.
Oh,
yeah,
is that Kingma?
Yeah.
Oh, Kingma. Oh, that's right. Yeah, and then Kingma went. Yeah, Jackson went. That's right. Okay.
Yeah, I think they lost though. They can't win.
I think they lost.
That's how Josh and Trey got their first one.
Yeah. That's right. So then, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, fun fact: Kentwood was in our conference that year, or division, whatever.
Yeah.
Both times we played them, we beat them by 20. So.
Really?
Yeah. They got a little help from WIA that year.
Yeah. Oh, that's kind of how it goes with WIA. So coming after you finish your senior year, were you getting a lot of offers? What was the recruiting like?
My recruiting was going well before I broke my ankle. So I was playing for. My freshman year I played for Friends of Hoop. My recruiting was going well. My sophomore and junior year I played for Team Access. My recruiting was still going well, but after I broke my ankle, a lot of I didn't have offers yet, but I was getting interest from some bigger schools, and they kind of went away after. And kind of like going into my senior year, that last junior year, you don't really know where you're going, or I didn't know where I was going yet. Right. And a lot of guys did. So going into that AAU, I kind of
had to AAU. All your teammates
had
signing.
pick it up. Yeah. Right. So I signed at the end of that year with Fullerton. I went on my visit. I really liked it there. So I was like, they were there for me the whole time throughout my injury. And even when I was done, there was a couple schools that wanted me to go to like prep school and stuff. but I was graduating. I didn't need to go to prep school. So
Right. Was there any other Seattle products at Cal State Fullerton, or was there a connection there? Or?
No. So what happened was my coach went to the game to watch a kid on the other team, and I was killing those guys. They're like,
chopping.
I'm sorry, forget that kid.
all
But
good.
let's recruit this kid. So I was like, kind of got lucky. Well, I didn't get lucky, but they found a different player instead of what they were looking for.
Now,
It's our whole. My fault. You can cuss. It's
Oh,
cool.
okay.
Yeah. All that. Yeah. You're good. You're good.
I was like, my bad.
no, you're good.
when you started at Fullerton, did you start out the gates? Were you coming off the bench?
I did. So that's honestly, I give Coach Burton kind of the credit for igniting that killer kind of scorer mentality I have. Like you said, in high school, I had a couple games where I scored a lot, but I was more the facilitator, get the offense going.
Whatever coach wants you to do.
Yeah, really whatever coach wants me to do. And when I went to Fullerton, he was like, listen, if you can average 25 this year, you can go average 25 this year.
Right.
So it was a big change of mindset, but it was something I think that helped me out further on in my career.
So, in Fullerton, 61 career games 61 games in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Averaged about 10 points a game. As a freshman, you were Big West Sixth Man of the Year.
Which is funny because I started half the year, so I think they just gave me something just to give me something.
Well, that's love. And then after your sophomore year, you got honorable mention All Big West.
Yeah, we were really good. We finished second in the conference
they
that year.
screwed you over.
Long Beach State. Long Beach State was good though. They had
No.
Casper
I'm
there.
talking about because you weren't All Big West. You were honorable mention.
There was guys that year, bro. Like there's Casper Ware.
It's okay to be.
Orlando
It's okay.
Johnson. They went to the NBA.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
James Nunnally.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, our conference was good that year. There was some really good guards that year.
We'll just say, ladies and gentlemen, he got snubbed.
Yeah, I got
Should have
snubbed.
been at least second team,
At
but
least.
he got snubbed. He's being real humble right now, which
Honest.
we appreciate here at BTST. But real he got snubbed. Actually, so then after your sophomore year, you decide to transfer.
Yeah.
What went into that decision of transferring?
I always wanted to come home.
Okay.
Like, especially being a kid, I really wanted to come here. And Roma
To
was
UW?
like, no, let's see if you come to summer school. We don't want to get my scholarship yet. So I was like, well, my parents can't afford to send me to UW, let alone
Right.
any college. So I was like, and then Coach Dollar was like, yeah, man, you can always come run with me. I'm like, hey, I always want to play for Coach Dollar anyway. With me knowing that he worked here with Coach Omar and he helped develop guys like Nay and Conroy and Brandon Roy. And I'm like, yeah, Coach. And plus, I knew there was a whole discipline side to it that I kind of needed too. So I was like, let me just go ahead and rock with Coach Dollar. He was there for me anyway. I had an offer to go there out of high school, but they weren't tournament eligible yet.
Oh,
They were still early new D1.
They were new D1s.
Right.
They couldn't go to the tournament yet. So that was one of the only real reasons why I didn't go there initially.
Okay. So I know one of the hardest things to do for transfers is sit out.
Yeah.
So talk to us about the sitting out that year. How, like, what did Coach have you work on? What are some things you did individually to work on yourself? I'll probably get school in order. Like, talk to us about that whole process, because I know sitting out sucks.
It was tough, bro.
And you're back home. All your friends and family are here.
And I'm young. It wasn't so much the friends and family because Seattle U's far enough from Federal Way, and there's traffic and stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like after class and practice is up, am I trying to drive home and some traffic hours? So that wasn't so much a big. For me, it was just Coach Dollar. Anybody that knows him knows that he doesn't tolerate any joking around any of that. And when I got there, Fullerton was a little bit more lax. Like I had to go to class and stuff, but it's not Seattle U private school.
Oh, yeah.
20 kids and something like, I had like 300 kids in one class,
Right.
200 kids in another class. So for me, it was actually doing school,
Right.
basketball, and everything else on top of that I had to be accountable for that Coach Dollar demands. So for me, it was just that, like, I'm always in the gym. I've always been in the gym. So that wasn't the hard part. And working on my game, like, I do that anyway. So whether we're playing in the season or if I had a redshirt year.
Right.
So not playing the games was another part that was hard. Going and watching them guys struggle, but they didn't have a very good year.
Right.
But,
And you're like, I can help these guys immediately.
Yeah, I can help,
Or-
and I know I can't help.
Or, like, again, you don't have to be politically correct, but once again,
I know,
everybody-
but they watch. I don't want them to feel bad. I try not to do that.
I mean, you're speaking. You know what they say? You're being 100.
I mean, you
Yeah,
came
facts.
in and averaged 19 a game the next year.
Right.
Facts.
I think I remember looking one time, and it was like you were at one point, I like 5, 6, 7 games in the year. You were leading the nation in scoring.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I did that a couple times. Actually.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I just wanted to help those guys, and then kind of, I say Coach Dollar, man, he helped me out mentally a lot. Like, he put me through a lot that just got me ready for the season, what I was going to go through, whether it was going to be some games, the reps are on your side, some games are not on your side.
Right.
You know, you just never know what you're going to go through.
Right.
So I think he did a really just good job for just preparing me not only for my junior and senior year, but as a professional as well. Because I got to leave for training camp in 8 days.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing they can do to me that I haven't done already.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I don't
Coach
even
Dollar
worry about it. Yeah.
Coach Dollar practices are pretty tough.
They can be.
Yeah.
Like
It
I said, and
depends if it's
especially if
after
you
a
don't do
loss.
the things you have to do, like school and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You get to do extra fun conditioning, so yeah, it can get really fun.
The conditioning is always fun.
It's my favorite thing to do.
Right, exactly. Y'all can see how serious we are about that. So, I mean, your SU career, you're pretty storied. I mean, you're one of the better players. I mean, there's been some good players over the years, but you've had a 2-year career where, I mean, all whack both years. Second team, should have been first team, and then you were on the first team. Newcomer of the year. You're the single season 3-point record holder. Looking back at your career at Seattle U, was it everything that you imagined it would be? And did you get fulfillment out of it? Meaning, did you do everything you wanted to do individually? Because I know as a team, you guys were like 1 game away from making the tourney, so I know that must have been tough. And you guys were in, I believe, the CBI.
Yeah.
Which
one
is
game
cool.
away from there too.
Right.
to the championship.
Which is cool. So, you know, talk to us about it. Did you feel fulfilled both on and off the court?
For sure. Only because I know that I gave it everything I had. I worked as hard as I could. I put in a lot of time in the gym, in the weight room, and I bought into my team system at both colleges. And at the end of the day, that's all you can really ask for, is to give it your all and try your hardest. And I did that. I had some great times in college. My personal accolades show, I think, kind of the hard work that goes on behind the doors that people don't see.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And I still had some team success. Like, I never went to the tournament. That's probably the only thing that kind of still strikes me down, you know? And one of the only things in my career that I look back, there's like 2 things. Losing to Jackson my senior year, I'll always remember that. Yeah. And not making the NCAA tournament.
Was that New Mexico State beat you in the finals?
Yeah, we lost the first game of the conference to like the 6th ranked team.
Right.
It, like, nobody's seen that coming, and they beat our ass. They beat us like 16 or something like that.
Right.
So having that, we were supposed to win it that year, or at least be us and Long Beach State in the championship. And then my senior year, New Mexico State, I mean, it was a hill to climb, but we split with them that year 1-1.
Right.
So we could have beat them.
And that's when they had the big 7-6 dude.
Yeah.
Remember that dude we saw at Summer League?
They had Sikyan
was
he was a freshman, and they had, I forgot the dude's name.
Sim Dular, that's the big
Simi
7.
Dular.
Yeah, the
They
big
had a
7
big African dude that was strong.
At Long Beach
Jumped
State?
everything, too. No, this was New Mexico State.
Yeah, Long Beach State had that.
Poway, I want to say, or something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Did you graduate?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. No, just trying to make
Did
sure.
5 years.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations with that. What'd you get your degree in?
Communications.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes.
So, I mean, we
School
can
of
talk.
Arts and Sciences, man. Seattle U.
Oh, yeah. I got into
Mateo
Seattle
Rich.
U, man. That's
Seattle U's tough.
Mateo Rich.
You
Yeah.
know?
So after your Seattle U career, you realized, I can play basketball for a living.
Yeah.
What was the process of you finding an agent?
Well, actually, the year before that, my junior, I averaged like damn near 21 points or something like that. And so we were like halfway through the summer, and I get a call from Coach Dollar, and he's like, "So what's up, man? Where's your head at?" I'm like, "We talking about, Coach? Like, I'm at the house right now. I'm about to go work out or whatever I was doing." He's like, "Yeah, you coming back next year, or what are you doing?" And at that point, I wasn't even thinking like I have a chance to go play anywhere. Like, I always kind of knew, because even like my freshman year and sophomore year, I was getting hit up by agents like in the Philippines and Europe.
I don't know if
you.
Here's another fun fact. I don't know if you remember this. Some agents in the Philippines, because one of our good friends plays over, or is Filipino, and he's playing in Thailand right now. But agents were hitting me up asking about you, and I don't know if I think I still have the Facebook message. I hit you up on Facebook. I'm like,
wow.
Yeah, I was like, hey, what's up, man? Are you like, what you trying to do? Like, I have all these agents and teams looking at you, and then I remember you saying you just want to finish out your college career and just kind of just go from there.
I didn't really know what that meant at that time.
Right.
Like, what do you guys mean?
Right. You want me to leave early?
Yeah, and like what I know now is, even then, nobody knew how much Filipino I have in me.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And there's stricter rules now to where you can't just get the passport. Thinking like, okay, so I actually have a chance to play now. But I wanted to finish school and get my degree, even for my sisters, because just so they could see somebody do it. So that was something that was always, I gotta finish school. Especially knowing me, I want to go back and get my master's now, but only because I've matured and kind of see, I'm kind of like into learning and growing mentally and stuff now. But back then, I probably wouldn't have thought, I'm not coming back to finish. Once I'm done. And so that was a big thing for me going back to finish. And then picking an agent, I kind of got lucky, bro. So at my time, my agent now, who is Snow, he was just starting to become an agent.
Right.
And he's been my big bro since probably like, maybe just before I left the college.
Okay.
I think I started working out with him, and he started kind of putting me around like Jamal and those guys, and just really getting
Town
my
business.
basketball.
So Al Snow, Franklin legend. Yeah, because people
Eastern Washington
You said
legend
Snow.
too.
I just want
My
people
bad,
to know. Yeah, Al
Alvin
Snow, Franklin legend,
Took Eastern to
Eastern
the
Washington,
tournament.
Yeah.
Hall of Famer out there.
Yeah.
Great career overseas. Now aging. So
For sure. And anybody knows Snow that he does basketball workouts even before he did an agent. So he helped me develop my game long before he even thought about becoming an agent. And so when he kind of became one, I was just like, I had all these guys. I'm like, yo. He played for 10 plus years overseas, had a good career, and I trust him more than anything. And so I just signed with him off the bat. And so he was my agent for my first year and a half. So I kind of hit some adversity a year and a half into my second season.
Okay.
I was kind of all over the place. And at that time, I had a bunch of people in my ear saying what I should be getting, And looking back at it, it's people that don't know anything about how the
It's a whole
basketball
different
works.
game over there.
Yeah, but I was young and just listening. I'm like, yeah, I should be there. I should be this. And so I left Worldwide for a little bit.
Oh.
I left for like a year, I think, a year and a half. And I didn't make that much more money or go that much more higher clubs teams. I seen what he had built up. It's kind of what you guys see now. He had all these guys where I'm like, damn, I should be in there. And we still talked, like our relationship wasn't sour or anything like that. And he just hit me up one day. He was like, you ready to come home? And I was like, yeah. So I signed back to Worldwide, and it is what you see now today.
So I mean, your career. I mean, over the years, you started in Slovakia and played in the Euro Cup, which is big because you know those leagues out there, like the Euro League, Euro Challenge, Euro Cup.
Yeah.
Those are some big leagues. You did well. Out there. Then you, halfway through the season, you ended up moving to Iskra.
Yeah,
BK
Svit.
Iskra's
Iskra
Svit.
Svit. Northern Slovakia.
Wow. So Slovakia.
Yeah.
That place was a grind. Iskra Svit, man, it's like right at the bottom of a mountain. I want to say more than half the time I was there, I wake up to at least 8 feet of snow every day. Incredible.
Damn.
Like I used to have to walk. We used to get meals a day. So after practice, we had to walk to the restaurant, which is like the only restaurant in that town.
Right.
And try walking when it is snow, wind, ice. It wasn't a very good time.
Damn.
Like I played well and stuff, but my sole motivation was to never have to go to a place like that ever
Exactly.
again. So I used to like.
What's the fanfare like out there?
The fan was good because there was
that's all they got.
500 people in the town, so they
It
got
was
to
that
come
small.
to it was. I could run from beginning to the end. Like,
When you were about to sign that deal and you look on the map of where you're about to go, you're like, man, wow, this is a lot different than
it wasn't
town.
really that. So what happened was the only reason I left the first team is because my coach left and there was a new coach and he wanted to bring in last year's MVP who played on that same team the year before, who got released from other team in our league.
Oh.
So kind of like,
it was like marriage
yeah,
there for
it
that.
was like just a shifting of players. And then I went to Svit. Looking back on it, I wouldn't even have went there because I checked my Facebook and I had a better offer from a better team in the league. But I went there because I had a teammate from Seattle U, Short, Identican was there.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm just gonna go. This is like
Right.
half the season.
Someone I know.
I could throw oops to him. He's a big guy.
Yeah.
I know I can get some assists. I'm like, I'm just gonna go with Short out there. So that's how I ended up at Iskra Spit. That place was a grind though. The only good thing about that place was I had the keys to the gym.
No, that's
You don't need
that's
that with
huge.
all that snow. And,
Yeah.
What's the time difference like in Slovakia from here?
I think it's 8 hours.
Okay, so
it's
you can still talk to people back home on like somewhat of a
It's
regular
tough.
basis, but yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
So then I think now we'll kind of fast forward to it's that year where you took off from worldwide. Is you got drafted to the G League,
Yeah.
which was dope. I remember seeing that. I'm talking
Even before then, though, I was in Belgium.
Oh. Spent some time
Oh
in
yeah,
Belgium.
yeah.
I was
You were in Belgium.
So I was still with snow at that point.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So yeah.
I went to Belgium for like a month and a half,
Right.
for like preseason.
Okay, yeah. I got you. Then you got drafted.
Yeah.
So what was the draft process like for the G League? And then did you end up going to training camp with them?
Bro, that whole was so interesting. So I went to Belgium. I got cut from Belgium. Didn't work out. I didn't really like the system. I wasn't playing well. It just was not a good fit for me.
Right.
And I was waiting to see what comes next. And that was around the time where I told Snow I was going to venture off. And so I had this new agent I was talking to, and he was like, actually, I get a call from Jaden Cohey. He went to SU too. He's like, this Canadian coach, he's asking about you. He wants you to apply for the G League draft. And I didn't know anything about the D League or the G. I think it was still the D League.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
the D League at the time. Yeah.
So I was like, all right. And so my agent was saying the same thing. So it was like a paperwork application. I signed it, filled it in, and then I was found out like everybody else did on Twitter. I got drafted to the main Red Claws.
Were you in Belgium at the time you got drafted?
No, I was here.
Oh, you were back home.
Yeah, it was like a Friday, and then they called me. I think the draft was Saturday. They called me Sunday at like 4. My ticket was for Monday morning at like 7 a.m. Yeah, and I was out of there. I had to go to training camp. So that was a fun experience.
So the training camp, explain how like a G League training camp is, and like how that ended up not working out for you. Because like, you know, when people think you get drafted, they automatically think you're on the team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so in training camp all the way out in Maine, what happened there to where, you know, it just didn't work out for you?
Okay, let me give you some background first. So before I even leave out there, I get a text from. This is to tell you how bad and how young I was and just didn't know what I was doing. So I didn't even know. I'm thinking the same thing you're thinking.
Right.
I'm reading online reviews like I'm already on the team. So I get a text from Snow before I even go to the airport. He's like, Zeke, I heard you got drafted in the D League draft. Congratulations, go make the team. So I'm thinking in my head, go make the team? What are you talking about?
Right.
I'm on the team. I got drafted.
Right, exactly.
I don't even know what.
Right.
So I get there. There's about 20 players, probably 9 of them are already locks for the team. Like, some of them are two-way players. They had what's called an associate player back then, where he gets a little bit higher contract. So they had like a bunch of guys like that already. And so I'm kind of just realizing on the fly that, I got to kind of try to make this team. There's 7 point guards here.
Right.
And only 3 get to stay, you know what I mean? So it was fun. It wasn't like, it was basically like a practice almost, and they're just evaluating everything. And
Just a one practice, or was it several? Like
there was a couple throughout the day, but I'm just saying like a regular professional practice. Where it wasn't like anything like, oh, you guys play one-on-one full court to see what makes it. It wasn't nothing like that. You just get evaluated on your skill set, how you run the sets, how you pick up, how you learn, how you're coached. Maine was really cool because them and Boston are like identical. So when I was there, Terry Rozier and Kelly Olynyk and Demetrius Johnson from Notre Dame or something like that. They came down to practice with us. Jackson from Notre Dame. They came down to practice with us, and they hopped in all the drills and warm-ups and plays and stuff like they had been practicing with us for a week. So I thought that was really cool, and to go up there to Boston's facility and see
you got to do all that too?
Yeah, we got to practice up there. And
see the banners
Danny
and all that kind of
Ainge,
stuff?
I walk in, Danny Ainge is sitting in his chair. I'm like, oh, my God. Like, it was definitely a cool experience.
When you got to Maine, did they do any sort of like welcoming, like a media thing?
We
like,
did a
welcome our new
media
draft
day.
pick?
The media day was tight.
that?
Yeah, the media day was tight. And then we had like
Introduce you.
Yeah, they did all that. We had like a white versus red game.
Okay.
And I played well. I didn't play bad at all, but they were just saying that. So they called me in. He was like, the guard we're picking, we like him better in pick and roll situations, and he's a better defender. So it's like, what can you say?
Right. That's
But
the
even
pro
to
game.
have that on my resume that I got drafted to
Right.
Boston's D, like that's a pretty good. People
Right.
were saying something. I'll take it.
So then,
I would like to have that experience again now that I'm older, more experienced, and I can kind of I handle the ball better now and stuff. I would like to do that again.
to kind of use that as like motivation. It's like, all right, this is what
Just
I
to
have
do
to
it because not to say I want to play in the G League the whole year because it's real political and they have guys come down all the time. Sometimes you might not even play.
Yeah.
And I do like playing overseas, but just to have that experience again with where I'm at now with my game and my body, how I feel like I would like to do that.
So then, you know, you played in Lebanon for 3 games, and then after that you ended up in Canada for that season. So it's kind of like a roller coaster journey for you. You was Belgium, G League, Lebanon, and then Canada.
So you missed, and there's actually, I don't even think they have it on there. I did a Middle East, the WABA. There's like a WABA game, so it's like Western Asian basketball clubs. They do a tournament. It's all the best teams in the Middle East. I played in that with a team out of Palestine.
What about the games in Palestine? What are those like? I've heard stories
So
like
we didn't.
people
The games
smoking
were actually
courtside?
in Jordan. We didn't play.
Jordan.
We only practiced in Palestine.
Oh, okay.
I was there for like a week, and then we left to Jordan to go play the games. But it was man. You'll think those guys are good, bro.
Yeah.
Like the teams. There was 2 teams from Iran. Iran had just made the Olympics the year before.
Right.
So they're not. You can go over there. This is what I've learned about being overseas. You can go over there and you can think it's sweet and smooth and all that until there's a guy from Serbia, Mirokovic or whatever his name is.
Yeah,
he
right.
gets you 35 and 8.
Okovic, that's
you
all
know?
that matters.
Those guys can play, man,
Yeah.
and it's different than here because
They're
they don't
coming
have,
for you. You're an
they
American?
don't have AAU.
Right.
So as soon as they're 15, 16 and they're good enough,
Like Doncic.
they're in
Yeah,
the weight
like
room.
Luka,
They're playing
yeah.
with the first team, the professional team, and they're developing. So it's much better, I feel like.
Do you feel like as an American that they're gunning for you more at all?
100%. Everybody's
okay,
against
that's
you.
what I figured.
Everybody's against you. Like
Right.
I'm so locked in now to where I don't even talk to the refs because, bro, if you talk to the refs over there,
But can you even talk to them? They don't.
you can. Some of them are cool. I will say that. Some of them will like actually talk to you, but some of them you say one thing to them and it's over. You're not gonna get any calls the rest of the year because a lot of those refs ref all the games in the league. Like there might be 8 of them, but you're gonna get a different sort of them or whatever. But they ref a lot of the games, so you got to just keep them center field.
Academic. Is that Bulgaria?
Yeah, Plovdiv.
Okay.
Bulgaria. Wow.
Plovdiv.
How long were you there?
Since I got there in September, so
Okay.
even then I left late.
Were you there like 6 months? Were you there a whole season?
I was there the whole season.
Okay. How did that? How was it over there playing?
Plovdiv was
Like fan wise, like what is it like as a fan experience? Like I've heard stories about like fans smoking courtside and things like
no, that does happen, especially like in China and Asia.
Like
That's so serious.
fireworks and all
Yeah,
kinds of weird
Greece,
stuff.
they do fire in there.
Yeah.
Some games are crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Like they show up to the game just drunk.
Oh,
Yeah, it goes down. But Plovdiv was a good time. That's still in the area of me kind of like still staying alive. Like I got that job late in September, I
Okay.
think, and I went there and played well. I was having back problems towards the end of the year, so I kind of had like I was doing really like I think what's the end of my numbers there?
13.
13.
See, I was averaging like 80. I'm not 80. I was averaging 80
Damn,
points, bro. I was averaging like 18 and like 6 or something.
oh, you were getting.
Yeah, I was hooping.
Yeah.
Shooting like 45 from 3, and then my numbers went down like the last 3 games. I kind of had a falling out with my coach. It didn't end well there.
And then from there you went to Turkey.
From there, I went
Last
to
year.
Turkey.
Yeah.
That was last year.
In Turkey you played pretty well.
Yeah, I had not a tough start, but I didn't really fit into what my coach wanted until about the second half of the year.
Oh.
Is when I started playing well, and then he's kind of like let my leash go a little bit. When we started hooping, even then we were winning. Now we were finding ways to win, but he was just there was a lot of things going on that could have went better early on for me. I feel like, but it all played out. I played well. We overcome a lot of people's expectations. Like we were picked so you know how it works over there, right?
Yeah.
Like the top 2 teams usually
Yep.
go down. We were picked to go down. Like that's what they thought of our
Right,
team.
right.
We were picked to delegate. And so when we actually stayed in the league and finished second, made the
Oh, you guys
playoffs.
got second, okay.
Yeah, like we were supposed to. It was the fact that we made the playoffs. Everybody was saying we had an incredible year. I felt like we could have made it to at least the semis, but you know,
What's Turkey like off the court?
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the cooler.
Especially
places
in
you've
like the main cities like Istanbul or Ankara or like Izmir. Like those places are really nice, and it's cheap there right now because they're not doing so well as a country.
been.
So it's like $6 or $7 of their dollars is one of our dollars. So you
Wow.
can eat, you can do a lot of
You
stuff.
live
out
like
there.
a king out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's nice.
Okay.
It's nice, man.
And then I was gonna say after Turkey.
So
what's
then,
it? Yeah.
so then you signed with a different team. After the season, like after your seasons, how are your offers look, or how do offers come about, or because you were signed relatively quick,
Yeah.
if I want to say, because a
To
lot
be
of guys.
honest, I signed before I even came home.
Right,
Oh.
so that's what I'm saying, yeah, because I remember you posted something about that,
Yeah.
and on social media. We'll follow him on social media. We'll give
Yeah.
you guys all that at the end.
All
So how did that all come about? So how does like your offers come about after a season? Obviously Snow's helping you, but what's like time frame? Or teams just boom boom? Do you have stuff lined up, or is it kind of a waiting game?
Honestly, in this job overseas, you never know.
Yeah.
You never know. Like,
Even when you play well.
even when you play well, you don't know.
Right.
You could be like there's guys now, probably high level players, Euro Cup, Euro League, and they don't even have a team yet. And they're just like, they don't know. So
Politics.
Budgeting in Europe.
Oh.
Guys thinking that they deserve this amount and not getting offered, but they think it could be anything, to be honest. And so I try not to worry about any of that stuff. I let Snow handle all of that.
Okay.
And so what happened was I was just chilling, enjoying my time. The season was over, so I'm in Istanbul at this point. I'm just chilling with the homies. I get a call from Snow. He's like, so you got an offer from a team in Turkey. I think we're going to take it. So I was like, all right. He told me
In
the
the
details.
same league?
Yeah.
Okay.
He told me who the team was and everything. And I was
You're like, yeah, I busted their ass.
Yeah,
You want me?
we
That
did
makes
too.
sense.
That was the
makes
funny
sense.
part. I was like,
God want me too.
I knew from how I played, even like halfway through the season to the second half of the season, I knew I was going to get some offers from the league just because we did well with local
exceeded
guys who
expectations.
aren't that as good
Oh.
as some of the other players. You know what I
Right.
mean? Or not looked at as as good. And we were successful. So whenever you're successful, there's going to be teams in that league with higher budgets that they're going to want you for the next team.
Right.
Was there
Just
is
happens.
there many other Americans in your league?
My league,
Yeah.
you can only have two
Two per
imports.
team?
Yeah, so it's not always Americans.
It's not always
So
American.
then you have for your team this season, you have the guy from your same agency.
Yeah, Jesse Hunt.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He went Eastern, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what's
I
up.
recruited him to my team, and
Oh,
I
did
told
you?
my coach to sign him.
Like, man, you should be a little kick some bread your way, man.
Hey, don't worry about
Referral
that.
fee.
Don't worry.
Hey, that's what I'm saying.
that
Referral
might be
fee.
going on.
See, man, we're just out here making things happen. And if his team
Yeah.
sees this, you guys are welcome, man. So now I think here's a question that a lot of people kind of want to know is, like, not people in Asia, right? Primarily the Philippines. They want to know what exactly is your heritage.
I'm half African American and black,
Mhm.
quarter Mexican and quarter Filipino.
Okay.
So my mom is half Mexican and half Filipino.
Okay.
My grandfather is full-blooded Filipino. So that's where my Filipino roots come from.
Right. So I know you was just down in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Trying to get the passport.
Mhm.
What's the process on that?
It's tough. So
is tough.
it used to be way easier, but what happened was so in the Philippines they pay really good money out there, and guys who were just a little bit Filipino they were just giving out passports.
Right.
So they kind of made it a little bit stricter. So we actually have a guy, Sammy Dowd,
Yeah,
in
Sammy Dowd,
he
yeah.
just got his, but his mom was on her birth certificate. She was born in Manila, I believe.
Okay.
Wherever she was born in the Philippines, it says Philippines on her birth certificate.
Okay.
So my great-grandfather is the only one who was born in the Philippines.
So, it's
So
a
it makes it a
process.
little bit harder for me. So I went down there, which I've been meaning to do for the last 2 years anyway. I just haven't
Right.
I don't know, whatever you want to call it. So I finally go down there, and I give myself like 4 days. I get there on a Tuesday, so I get there Wednesday morning. All my documents to prove who I am, my heritage and whatnot. And they're like, oh yeah, you got to go to the Philippines. Like within like 30 minutes of me being there. So I'm like, okay. So I have like 5 more days to be here because I'm thinking it's gonna be some long process.
Right.
They tell me in like 30 minutes that just basically I got to go to the Philippines.
You have to go to the
Yeah.
Philippines.
So I basically have to go there and declare myself a Filipino.
Wow.
Probably sign some documents or something.
Right.
But it's gonna be worth it for me. So
Right.
I'm gonna go.
Right.
I'm gonna do it right when my season's over. I'm going to the Philippines to go do it.
So is that? So my fault. I
No,
didn't
you
mean
said
to
you're
cut
kind of
you
already out there. You might as well.
Yeah.
So is that kind of the ultimate goal to end up out there, or do you have like other places in mind you hope to eventually play, or is it you still kind of just
It's hard
trial by ear,
because
just trying to
I
play.
still have aspirations in Europe
Okay.
and leagues I want to climb to out there. But at the same time, I can go live really well in the Philippines, really, really well in the Philippines, and who knows what opportunities await for me out there. I got a lot of family who I don't know a lot of my Filipino family anyway. And so there's guys, like you guys you would think I have my own fan club. I know they're my family, but I have people every day just, hi cousin, nephew.
Oh, really?
It's like, wow, like how much family do I really have out there?
Right.
So there's a lot that can go on in my future. So I
Right.
just kind of,
Because till this day, I still have coaches and agents asking me about you because you're
Wow.
on this. It's called PBADraft.net, and one of our guys. I don't know if you know Avery.
Avery Sher? Yeah.
He's a close friend of ours, so he's we know him, and he's been going through the whole process, and like I got to know a lot of teams and agents, and so a lot of them still ask about you.
Mhm.
They're like, oh, is he getting his passport, blah blah blah. It's like, also I'm just.
And it's funny because like I've had that from like just other people in like the Filipino basketball community who just reached out, who might not even like know me that well, and just be like, yo, where are you at? And I'm just like, how are these teams reaching out to you guys? And not like I haven't heard from any of these. Like, do they not know to reach out? It's just weird how it all ends up coming back to you somehow, some way, some form.
You get some random person like me hitting you up, and I've always been a fan of your game, but then kind of weird how everything comes full circle.
Yeah,
now
it's like now you're telling us like it's weird how it happens. But that's how the basketball community is, like, especially with the internet making things so easy these days. Like yesterday, I got a coach from Poland hit me up and asked me did I have a team already, and I was like, yeah. I was like, in the future, hit up my agent, but I'm already signed.
Right.
So.
All right, so. Man, just really quick, and like once again, we appreciate you.
Thanks for having me,
man. Taking some time out of your day. We know you got to go get a little workout in. We're gonna do to kind of finish off the interview. We're gonna do a rapid fire.
Okay.
So just talk about some questions. You can just quick answers. Nothing too long. Nothing too major. So,
what would you say in your career, college and pro, is the biggest or best win that you've had?
The best one I had?
Maybe you had like 10 in a row to come back and win it, seal it, or...
That's a tough one. The best win of my career, I would probably say, was, and it's going to be funny because it didn't mean anything, but my senior year in high school, we played Gonzaga Prep. Mind you, it was like this. It was like a quarterfinal game. We were the one seed in state. They were the second seed in state.
Oh.
So why we played in the quarterfinal?
Right.
I don't know.
Random
anyway.
draw.
Exactly. So we were losing that whole game, and
Right.
Cole Dickerson, who was like our scorer
Yep.
right.
that year, was in foul trouble the whole game. So going into the fourth, I think he fouled out, and we were down by like 12, and had a big
Is that at the
overtime.
Tacoma Dome?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I went crazy in the last two quarters and in overtime, and brought us back, and then got us into the semifinal game against Jackson.
Oh,
But
okay.
just that, I can remember that game. Just some of the shots I hit and some of the moments. One of the biggest plays was we needed a 3 to tie the game up to go to overtime. They all, like, 3 players ran at me, and we knew they were going to do that, and I had to trust the guy in the corner to make a shot. He was a freshman. He made it.
All trust the
it
corner
was
shooter.
Just, yeah, it was a crazy. And once we went to overtime, I knew we were going to win. I was like, I'm not letting this thing lose.
Right.
I'll always remember that game, too.
What about in college? So is there a win that sticks out in your mind?
Man, in college, I would say my senior year, the WAC tournament, our run we made to the championship game, and then my junior year, my homecoming game against Idaho, I had like 36. Another game I went crazy in the second half. Everything I threw up was going in.
Versus Idaho?
Yeah, I remember one time I caught the ball and I was high up, and Coach Dawg was like, bust his ass. I just pulled up, made it, everybody's going crazy. I remember that game.
Would you say that's probably one of your best individual games of your career?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. That game, and then we lost the game at Nebraska-Omaha. I had like 34 that game.
Oh.
But for some reason, sometimes in the second half, I just kept on fire.
Time takes it.
Yeah.
Get you
I
a
don't
second to
know.
get going.
I need to play like that the whole game.
Right.
Right.
What about pros?
Professionally,
Just a game that just sticks out, a win that you're just like, yeah, that's a big ass win. Like that's something I'll always take with me. Is there something that sticks out,
I don't know if I have any of those yet.
or sooner? Hey, it's
Probably,
sooner
I would
come.
just say just last season, because there was a couple games last year that we won that we probably shouldn't have won. And with our team and the teamwork that we did, like we'd be some big budget teams last year. With
Okay.
not having such a big budget. So just last
That's
year
like
in
a big
general,
deal.
from being picked to be a bottom team to a top team, especially in Turkey. Like Turkey's a really good country
Right.
for basketball.
Yeah.
Like that was a pretty good year for
You
us.
sign a lot of autographs and stuff out there?
Yeah, you always do that.
Yeah.
Kids love you everywhere you
Yeah.
go.
You're like a celebrity out there. And now you're shaking. You're in Turkey. It's like, oh man, Umipig's coming back. Oh man,
He's one of us.
That's what they
Fans-
You
think.
got a name that just kind of
right,
resonates
the,
with people.
the fans are going crazy.
They actually like my nickname better, Zeke.
Zeke?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because there was a famous Turkish soccer player. His name was Zico.
Oh, okay.
So they all call me Zico out there.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow, okay.
It's big
Isn't that
shoes to live
funny,
up
right?
to.
I know,
Yeah.
right? I don't even play soccer.
What would you say is like the best thing about playing overseas?
For me, it's just being able to do what I love and get paid for it. Like, I don't have to. It sounds bad, but I watch people wake up every day and go to their office jobs and sit in traffic and shit. And it's just like, man, my only job is to do what I do anyway. Wake up, work out, and hoop.
Right.
Right.
So I'm blessed.
Sometimes
I
it's
don't
tough to
ever,
find that motivation. You know?
I don't ever take that for granted.
Right,
yeah.
So my only thing I have to do is stay in shape and stay healthy and just live life, be a good guy. So,
All right,
man,
because
I'm
you
blessed,
see
bro.
a lot of guys in your profession take that for granted.
Yeah.
They're blessed with God-given talent, but yet when it comes to working and
Or even just
Fine.
being a professional,
Right,
bro.
yeah.
Like, there's sometimes stuff is not gonna go your way. That doesn't mean you can act a certain way. You can
Right.
act out.
it's not the
'Cause,
end of the world.
man, there's so
Right.
many guys who are good and they go over there and they act like dickheads or assholes, and it's it. It
I
doesn't
hear-
matter how good you are.
I hear
There's
that. I hear that
100
a lot.
more of you. You know what I mean?
We hear that a lot. I mean, knowing
It's
a lot of dudes
sad.
that played over there, we hear that a lot.
It's
Guys,
sad.
all the talent in the world, but they're just
And those guys don't care. Like, as soon as if you're a bad person, they're gonna call the next coach. And, how was he? He's a good guy.
Right.
Oh yeah, okay, we'll take him. That's almost more important than having good numbers.
exactly.
What would you say is like the worst thing about, the downside of playing overseas?
Just sacrifice, probably being away from your family and stuff. Like, for me, I was kind of raised by my grandmother, and so as she gets older and I gotta be away, so it's just time away from your family.
Right.
I say is the hardest thing.
And then, kind of the last one is, who's the toughest player you've had to guard in high school, college, and the pros? I'm not gonna say pick up in Seattle or the Pro-Am, because I mean you play with these guys all the time. Is there any guys in particular that really stand out from these three phases of your career? So high school, college, and the pros.
It's gonna sound crazy, but I'm gonna say no. To be honest, I haven't played against anybody that I felt like this just dominated me. Like, I can't do nothing against them. That sounds weird.
Right.
No.
What about guarding them and someone that was like, man, they just, no matter what you do, they're just getting buckets? Or is there anyone who's like, damn, this dude is so crafty, got all the moves?
I mean, you play against guys. I don't know. I tend to pick up on people's tendencies quick, and so like if I know like a smaller, faster guard, like he might be smaller and more shiftier and stuff, but I'm stronger, so I'm just gonna.
Right.
I'm really good at getting away with like little stuff. So when he cuts, I'm gonna hit him. I'm just gonna be
Right.
physical with him all game, and they don't like that. If they're more of a physical guard, I'm still shifty enough to where I can use my strength and stuff. So I don't know. I give the guys that I work out with credit, because they're the ones who bust my ass every day
Right.
and get me to that level. So
Right.
that's Brandon Brown, Gaddy,
Mhm.
Andrew Andrews, Devontae Lacey,
Oh, yeah?
because those are the ones we lock in with every day. And I'll say those guys for real.
Right.
Those are the only ones I can say day in and day out. It's no, when I go into that gym, I got to be locked in. Cause
Right.
it's not,
Well, you guys
it's
are all
not-
fighting for your career. You guys are all trying to get better.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it's kind of like it's a nice relationship builder, because you guys are all trying to get to the same place, but you guys are all trying to make each other better.
For sure.
So it's not like I know guys could have a mindset like, well, I'm not trying to let him get the same money I'm getting, so they just
we don't think like that.
no,
Everybody,
so that's what I'm saying. It's a good relationship builder. It's like a brotherhood,
Yeah, for
bond
sure.
that you can take with after when the ball stops bouncing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so that's the thing. That's the beauty of it, when you have guys who are in your corner and that make you better like that every single day. So that's
it's cool that you see that, because it's like, we don't talk about it, but it's like, now that you said that, like, we've already, over the last couple months, like, we have a group text outside of our basketball text, and we do talk about other things like investing together and stuff.
Right.
You know? So now that you say that, that's kind of like a bit of an eye opener. Like, damn,
yeah.
it's pretty cool.
It's good
Y'all
'cause-
helping. Y'all got your own experience of where you are. You're
Yeah.
learning from wherever country you're in.
For sure.
Like, yeah, it's something I like to tell guys I used to coach, and me and him are like brothers. It's bigger than balling's bigger than basketball. Basketball may have brought you guys together, but everything is bigger than basketball. It's like
Yeah.
a brotherhood. And like you said, basketball isn't the be all end all. Like, yeah, we're trying to do other things, and that's the neat thing about the game is it brings so many people together, but then you guys can branch off and like just build so many bonds and friendships and relationships. So yeah, that's my little like deep spiel
No,
right
that's
now.
true though. That's real talk. That's
So
real
you
talk.
know, if you guys want any more deep stuff, just hit me, man. I got advice for days. But nah, man, we just wanted to.
No, that's real talk.
You leave Wednesday?
Yeah.
Oh, you're out of here.
Out here training camp.
We appreciate you taking a couple minutes out of your day or shit, like an hour
No,
or
thanks
two
for having me, man.
to come talk to us about your career. Hopefully, you know, your fans can watch this and get to know you a little bit better. Appreciate you, man.
No, thanks for
Appreciate
having
you
me,
so
bro.
much, man.
Keep repping the town.
Yeah, you already know.
Fed.
Every time.
No, it's
every
not that.
time.
Yeah, he's fed.
Yeah. Every post you see, hashtag FDub. Every time.
All right, everybody. Well, that about does it. Isiah Umipig, overseas point guard. I made the mistake of saying guard. Overseas point guard. Going to Turkey this year. We appreciate you guys, Miss Adams, Charlie, Blacktop Smack Talk. Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We appreciate the love and support.
What's your handle?
_ZEKEIJU. Follow me. Worldwide.
All right, appreciate you guys.